What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Don't forget to click subscribe there on the bottom of your screen. Be a part of the Sooner Surge family where you can like, comment, and join us in our football discussions and other discussions that we have on here. Make sure you're dropping comments today, actually, as we are going to pose a question to you here. You just saw the AP rankings come out last 24 hours, I guess, or so. OU is ranked 20th in the preseason rankings. And I know Sooner fans are kind of mixed with that probably. There are some Sooner fans who love being ranked that low, and then other Sooner fans maybe who feel like, OU got shafted a little bit. But drop your comments in here on how you feel about the ranking, a preseason ranking at 20. And if you like to be ranked lower, or do you like being in the top 5 going into the season? What do you guys think?
I don't know anybody that likes being ranked lower, personally. I don't. I mean, I don't like it. I'd rather be number one. I don't understand the whole underdog. I mean, I know what underdog mentality means, and you're the one being hunted at number one or top 5. But would you not rather be that any day of the week? I would. I'd rather be the top fish and come at me. Hey, that's what it used to be back in the day. You remember? I mean, Stoops had some years like that, and Barry Switzer years. It was like, we are the top dog. We're going to get everybody's best shot. Come on, because regardless if you're ranked 20 or number 1 for OU, they're going to still get everybody's best shot. They're OU. So I'd rather be number 1, and you know what? I'd rather have the attitude as players like, hey, we are the best. That's my personal opinion.
Well, see, the only issue with that is, as of recent history shows, when OU is that top team or up there, they kind of collapse. They haven't really handled that being the hunted very well. Every time they've been in the top 5 in preseason polls, they've kind of hit rock bottom at points. Last year, well, how high were they at one point last year after the 3-0 start? Was it number 3?
I know they were top 7. I don't know exactly.
Top 3 or not.
I think it was top 5 for sure. And then Kansas State happened, then TCU happened, then Texas happened. And this year, though, at 20, kind of can't really complain in my mind. I was a little shocked that they were ranked, because I know a lot of the rankings are kind of based on your success as of last year, not as much of what you're projected to do. Some people kind of value the last season a little bit more than the upcoming season. And last season, you're 6 and 7. You shouldn't be ranked. But this year, obviously the voters saw what OU has been able to do through the portal, the competitive depth that they have on this roster, that, yeah, they're a top 25 team coming into this season.
Yeah, I think, and like you're saying on the rankings, yeah, it's maybe shocked. Some people are shocked that OU's ranked. They definitely don't have, I think there's hesitancy to rank OU higher than 20 because they don't have the quarterback in the quarterback position. I don't think nationally a lot of people are sold on the quarterback position at OU, that Gabriel's the guy. I think he's going to shock some people, though. And I think he's actually going to get in some Heisman talk. That's just my personal opinion. But the other thing is, Jay, of course you want to be ranked higher, I guess you could say, because if you lose early, you're better off if you're ranked higher and you lose early than if you're starting at 20 and you lose and you're out of the polls. It's definitely harder to move up to the top 5, top 10 quicker. So in that aspect, I would say you want to always be ranked higher, because in case you lose. But the second thing I'll say is, from a player standpoint, now any other place but OU, I would say this is 100% accurate. From a player standpoint, when you're ranked 20th, you don't seem to have the pressure maybe as a top 5 ranking. However, at OU, there's always pressure.
Well, there's a lot of pressure that actually.
Right, but I'm saying ranked 20th, you don't feel as much pressure, I don't think. Now at OU, you do.
You don't go to OU to not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that.
I mean, I think, Hunter, you talked about the history of OU being ranked higher and not doing is great. History is made to be changed. Okay, I mean, you got to change history. You can't just dwell in the fact that they haven't played well in the past few years when they've been ranked that high. They got to change that, and they got to change that mindset. And I bet there's a lot of players on OU that saw the 20th ranking and thought we're way better than that, and it's going to fuel a little bit. I understand that as a kind of like an underdog mentality, but I mean, I would love our viewers to comment here. I mean, when they played even athletics, I mean, did you like, Jeremy, do you like being an underdog, or do you like being the one that's expected to win? Because let's face reality, they're ranked number 20. They're going to be favored in every game except Texas, though. Are they not?
They are. And Jay, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying about the motivational aspect of it, but I also say this: 18 to 22-year-old kids, I'll say this, if you're ranked third and you're seeing all this hype, it can go to your head. If you're ranked 20th, and people are bashing you, saying things like, it fuels you. You're right. You may say it shouldn't, but we're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old kids, and Brent Venables can go to a team who's ranked second in the nation, and he could say, no one believes you're top two. No one's going to believe that because they're watching it all over ESPN. But when he says they don't believe they ranked you 20th, guys, they're not even talking about you in the conversation. Then the player's like, yeah, he's right. So I think it also gives coaches a little more to play with.
Yeah. Was it 2012 when OU was the number one team in the country? I can't remember what year it was, preseason poll. They did the all access that year. You know, I don't know if you guys remember the ESPN. They would go to the number one team in the country every year for fall camp, preseason, all that stuff. And OU was on it and completely did not meet expectations. And OU, just like Jeremy says, they respond better as the underdogs. I don't know why. That's just how it always has been. They do not respond well when, like Jeremy said, they're on ESPN being talked about on. I mean, now they're going to the SEC. Talked about on Feinbaum, talked about on First Take or whatever as the number one team in the country, Sports Center. Then they start to it gets to their head. Like
I kind of disagree with that.
It doesn't? You don't think it does? Because I've seen a lot when we've been
give me an example, Hunter, in the last 5 years. Give me an example.
Last 5 years?
Yeah. When they were ranked very high and it went to their head and they didn't perform well.
Last year against Kansas State.
They weren't very good last year, Hunter. They were overrated at that point.
But Jay, people were talking OU up after the Nebraska win like they were going to be in the playoff, and they heard it.
Joel Klatt said OU was like the real deal after that game.
They looked really good. I mean, but
I think it got to their head a little.
And you can't say it didn't get to their head.
It did not get to it.
I'll give you an example.
It doesn't matter that it's Nebraska. It's a rivalry game on the road, and they kick the snot out of them. And then the next week, they get upset at home. That 100% got to their head.
Jay, I'll give you an example.
Listen, getting in your head, I mean, having it being in your head and getting physically out physical is totally different. But
Jay, OU Georgia Rose Bowl.
What about it?
No one thought OU had a shot.
They didn't win, did they?
But they came out guns a-blazing and surprised everyone, right?
Yeah, they were up 31-14. We all know.
Hunter, you're muted. Yeah, you're
I thought OU was favored in that game.
They were up 31-14.
They were not expecting.
Why are we bringing that game up? Why are we bringing that silly game up?
I don't know why I'm bringing that game up.
Give me an example, guys.
Jay, there's several losses.
I'll give you a couple.
In the last 5 years, they've lost games they shouldn't have.
OU was a 1.5-point favorite against Georgia in the Rose Bowl. And if you want an example of when they were an underdog and performed
at Ohio State,
that's one. I wasn't going to go with that. I was going to go Sugar Bowl 2014-2013 season. They were 13.5-point dogs. Paul Feinbaum said they shouldn't even be in the game. They shouldn't even bother showing up. It's just going to be Alabama killing Oklahoma. Alabama should be in the national championship game, SEC, SEC, and then OU embarrassed Alabama, 14-point win. Just the Trevor Knight historic game, Eric Striker, the entire team.
Jay,
I understand what y'all are saying about the underdog. I do. They have the extra motivation and stuff, but I am so ready for OU to be up there with Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State every year and be the team that's going to be like, come and get us. I mean, I'm ready for that.
well,
Alabama and Georgia take that every year. They take everybody's best shot. They don't start it. Do they ever start the season at 20 anymore?
Not anymore, but
No, that's what I'm hoping OU can get to, where they're going to be top 5 every single year.
and I would love that.
And they
hope
were
they
there
can.
they were there for a while with Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. But
well, Jay, the fact of the matter is, OU's never going to start there if they don't win the games they're supposed to win. And what Hunter and I think are saying is they consistently are losing games that they're favored in. They're not losing to opponents who are favored over them. They're losing as the top dog. Right?
I mean, are you talking about last year? I mean, I guess most years they slip up, is what you're saying. They slip up a game they shouldn't.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty much every year. Last year obviously was different.
I get that. You're saying, I mean, that's true.
But again, last year there was 5 one-possession losses.
Yeah.
A lot of games they should not have lost.
Here's the thing. Look at their schedule this year. They're ranked 20. If they do what they're supposed to do, by the time they play Texas, they're going to be ranked probably, I think they'll be up around 10 or higher. And guys, you want to talk about a team that's up there that hasn't been up there as of late ranked is Texas. I mean, they're ranked, what, top 5?
I need to find that poll.
Maybe
in my opinion, Texas, I've made the prediction already. Texas is going to be a top 5 team.
You got to beat Alabama, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm sticking with still. But I think the wheels are going to fall off shortly after. Texas is a lot lower than I expected to open the year. They're at 11 in the AP poll. So,
I thought I saw they were higher than that. Maybe I'm thinking the ESPN poll or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure their SBI is probably number 1. You know.
Yeah.
Texas can win 5 games and they have a top 10 SBI because I don't know what they use for SBI, but whatever it is, it favors Texas every year.
Well, the fact of the matter, guys, is no one chants at a game underrated, okay? But they do chant the overrated chant, and we've heard that often. So drop your comments. Overrated, underrated, what's your preference as a fan? And hopefully the Sooners, who are going to be projected to win most games this year, do not slip up like they have in years past and make it to the college football playoff. Till next time, guys. Boomer.